Great.
I hope my
Hi,
screen is also
Radesh.
visible. Very well.
Not yet, not yet.
Uh,
Yeah, now the recording started. Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning and good evening to every one of you. This is the first demo session which we are planning to, schedule for this one. Going forward, we'll be having the in detail training. Okay, uh, little brief about Radhesham, and we do also have Akshay. Then we'll be discussing little about our company and who we are, little bit on that. Then we can start the actual demo session. Okay, so we are basically into the market since 2010 onwards. So almost 14 years we are into consultancy, and also we are doing the trainings, individual and corporate trainings. Especially in SAP Ariba, we have trained more than 5,000 over consultants so far. Okay, we are doing this one since 2017, and as the things are evaluating, we keep on adding the new updates which Ariba has released. No doubt it's whether it is going to be guided buying or guided sourcing or CIG, new things, everything is going to be included as part of our training here. Okay, so this training is going to be very much in-depth kind of training. The goal of this particular training is going to be you should understand each and every aspect of SAP Ariba, whether it's going to be upstream, downstream, integration, and also guided buying, guided sourcing, SLPs. Okay. So most of the time what happens is like some of us are going to be very good in upstream side, like me, but they are having some gaps in the downstream. So that should not be happening. So after finishing this particular training, you guys should able to, you know, uh, very daringly you can accept any kind of project, or also you can face any kind of interviews as well. So this is going to be our goal over here. Okay. Now we have Radhesham here, okay, who is having more than 16, 17 years of experience in SAP, sorry, in altogether in Ariba. In SAP is having plus 2, 3 more years of experience. So Ariba is working since 2011 onwards. Since its inception of SAP Ariba, he is into SAP Ariba only. Okay, so he is very knowledgeable person. He's not only working with one of the big four companies, but also he is having very good and uh, capability to transfer the knowledge as well. So that is most important. So he's a very good trainer also. Okay, and simultaneously is working with one of the big MNC. Okay, so that's it from my end, guys. Radhesham, over to you. You can start your presentation.
Thank you, Raj. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Radhesham here, and along with me, my colleague Akshay is also there for introduction about all few downstream module and as well as the contract module. So we'll discuss that later on. So Ira has already introduced us, and we are here to support you for entire Ariba upstream and downstream, how it will be and what kind of modules are there and how you are going to adapt that. As for your convenient, you can go with the upstream or downstream as per your requirement. You can also ask the questions. You have any doubt, you want to implement, or you have any kind of issues, we can discuss here. But that is, we have separate session for that. In between, first we will try to understand what are the features and what are the core competency of Ariba and how we are adopting that. So I hope everyone have already know aware about the product of SAP, that is Ariba. If anyone has new, we can going from scratch. So everything we will understand how Ariba will approach, how what are the process, and what product they have currently, which one is the currently in peak, and what are the upcoming features or upcoming their support for any new module. So that even we are going to discuss here, and we will help you to identify which one is the best suitable model for you, and you can work on that, because here we have discussing all together upstream and downstream. So I'll explain you what are the upstream module and what are those downstream module. So first we will start with those, and then we will one by one we will understand the feature wise, and then we will go with the training sessions. So if you have any questions in between right now, you can ask, that we will cover up, not an issue. So I'll start with the, if you see in my here, our left side, we have this Ariba sourcing SLP, Ariba supply lifecycle and performance, called as a SLP, Ariba supplier risk, Ariba contract management, Ariba spend management. And here we have new module that is called Ariba supply chain collaboration. We are also discussing this module. I have already worked on this end-to-end integration for the Ariba supply chain collaboration, but only on PO collaboration. So we will discuss that, how it will be, and what are those challenges in this supply chain collaboration. This is a new module, already Ariba has working on that. And we have Ariba buying and catalog management, Ariba commerce automation. Currently now it is called DSN. So
Radhika,
DSN and nothing it is. Yeah,
I'm so sorry to interrupt you in between. I think the
yeah.
slides are not getting moved actually. So we are still
No,
on
no,
the
I'm not.
overview slide. Yeah,
Okay, one second, one second. How it is possible? Let me
yeah. Now it's okay.
share it.
Now we are in the second one, Ariba
Okay.
product portfolio. Yeah,
Yes, I think, is it
your
visible?
mouse. Yeah, we are in the second one. Second.
Yes, yes, yes. Second
Product
one only.
portfolio. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay, so at the left side, I'll go again. So SAP Ariba sourcing, Ariba SLP supplier lifecycle performance, Ariba supplier risk management, Ariba contract management, and Ariba spend analysis. So these are upstream models. Basically, what are those? Why it is called upstream model? Our whatever, whenever we are starting our initial sourcing for any material or in any services, so those, whatever those models are, it is come under the upstream module. So it will start with the spend analysis. How we are going to interact with any client, that is we start with the spend analysis, because until and unless we know what are the spend, what are their backend system, what are their capabilities, why they want Ariba product, so we have to analysis first. That for that reason we'll do the spend analysis. And every year we also do the spend analysis, because what categories we have to consider for our sourcing SLP, in which category they have much spend, how many suppliers are there. So this basic idea or bigger picture we can only see in this Ariba spend analysis. So that is a spend analysis here. We'll not going to the deep for this module, because it is like nowadays no one has been using this no one organization has been using this Ariba spend analysis. They are directly going with the Ariba sourcing, because Ariba already doing pre analysis for them, and then they only introduce all these other modules. So Ariba sourcing, Ariba contract management, SLP, and supplier risk management. So this is the our main target, like SAP Ariba supply chain collaboration. We are going to deep here, because this is the new module and currently in market. If you have experience, or if you want to learn Ariba, you can focus on this module, supply chain collaboration, along with the Ariba sourcing SLP. So these three modules are currently, and along with that contract managers. It is depend on how you are going to capture all this within your this curriculum, or if you want to explore, you can target this kind of module. And then we have Ariba buying catalog management also. This is the downstream modules, commerce automation, Ariba invoice management, and Ariba payables. So all these are the downstream modules. When downstream will be start, whenever your PO wants to award to supplier, or you want to send a PO, then after that, whatever the process, like is an advance ship notice, PO confirmation, GRN, goods receiving, and your invoicing process and your payment process. So that is under downstream module. Whenever you want to buy something, any category, you want to identify the suppliers, you want to identify the specification for that material, then you are floating inquiry within the suppliers. So that comes under sourcing module. So that's why it is called upstream module, and this is the downstream module. So this is a basic understanding for this. Now system how will react, how you are going to interact all these module, like which module currently any customer will use. So they will start with the sourcing, then their supply SLP, then they are using either commerce automation, or either supply chain collaboration, or either buying an invoice. So combination of all these three four modules, like Ariba contracts. So majorly buyers, companies, what they do, they do sourcing, they do the SLP, they do Ariba contract management, Ariba buying, or either supply chain collaboration, or either commerce automation. So any of any downstream, any one of these downstream module. But in upstream you have major scope like sourcing, SLP, supplier list is a part of Ariba SLP only, and contract management. So these are the four areas where major of companies are doing this. Some companies are not doing sourcing, but they are doing contract management, but they are doing SLP always. Along with that, any like commerce automation or supply chain collaboration they can go. So I'll explain you what are the sourcing, what are the capabilities of sourcing module, what are the benefits, and how as a consultant we are going to work there. And then we'll understand how the entire supply chain or entire these modules will be integrated with the backend ERP, and which ERP is supported, how they are we are going to uh, adopt that customization in that, what are the features for backend ERP configuration, and how suppliers will interact with, and we will more into that detail. So like currently Ariba have more than 4.1 million companies in the network. So Ariba is based on their Ariba network. So I hope my second slide is visible to you. Hello,
Yes,
Raj.
Naresh, it is.
Not yet.
Yes, yes, yes. It is visible.
Okay.
It is visible. It is visible. We can
Okay.
see the
Okay.
Ariba network, world's largest B2B
Yes.
trading
Yes.
platform.
So so along with Ariba, there is all other companies also there. The majorly market has been acquired by Ariba. So 4.1 million companies currently on Ariba network. What Ariba network means? Whatever cloud solution Ariba is providing, it is based on their Ariba network. So all these modules which we just checked earlier slide, it is all under this Ariba network. So we are going to understand how Ariba network will be work, what are benefits from Ariba network, what are configuration we have to do, and middleware, what is the differentiate between middleware and Ariba network, and our backend system, and our current like Ariba platform, actual Ariba or sourcing this thing, Realm. Uh, Next is like Ariba network and how it will integrated with other these things. I'll show you. I hope screen is visible for Ariba network.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay.
Yes, Naresh.
If you see uh, 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 right side, this is a one Ariba network. Ariba network is a backbone for any kind of module. Like if you want to interact with any supplier or buyer, there is a network. So whatever transitions we are doing, it is through the network only. So then it will be distributed. Whatever suppliers sending information to buyer, it will come under this network, and then it will buy redirect to buyer. Buyer is sending PO or any order, it will say through this network only. CIG is a middleware. We will that is a different thing. We will discuss later on. But backbone is network only. So whatever transition you are doing, that you can go and check in CIG also, and as well as in network also. Network have configurations that we will discussing in detail, and these are some like supporting applications. If you have knowledge about this EDI, email, fax, portal, paper, so all these kind of things we can do customize of this format we can use for communication. Like EDI nowadays, majorly clients are using EDI to secure the these things with the suppliers, so that's why they are using EDI. Most of the suppliers also currently they are using paper based invoicing also. So what they do, they do uh, open network to read the this paper invoice, and then it will convert into that readable invoice. So that conversion, how it will happen, how invoicing will come under that, and how we will redirect to the different things, we will high level we can understand that going ahead. I'll quickly move to the sourcing part, how sourcing and what are the benefits of sourcing. I hope Ariba sourcing slide is visible to you. Hello.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
See, like Ariba sourcing, how like majorly it will use for the buying. Whenever you want to buy something from supplier, or you want to analyze something that comes under RFI, RFPs, auctions. So you can use this module to interact with suppliers. If you want to collect any quotation, you can send a RFP to supplier, and then they will send you the quotation for that. You understand what technical and commercial configurations you have, and then you are going to negotiate that things. It will come under Ariba. So the Ariba have different template. It is a template based approach. So in that you have three types of different segment, like RFI, request for information, then it is RFP, request for proposal means for quotation collection, and auction for auction, we can say RFX for that. So if there is a reverse auction, forward auction for scrap, you want to sell your scrap, then you can float the inquiry as a forward auction. There is a different kind of total auction, Dutch auction, index based auction, bid transformation, and these are almost 48 types of auctions in Ariba. So that strategy, you have to decide which strategy, how we are building the customized template for them, and how we are building the template. It is under that 48 types. We can compile 2 3 templates in within one, and we can use as a strategy whenever we want to use the bid transformation or total cost auction. We can, in one template we can manage that. How? So that in that manner we can manage this 48 auction template. No one use this 48 out of 48 templates. It is your strategy, what templates you have to configuration. We will teach you all these reverse auction templates, forward auction template, total cost auction, Dutch auction, and index based auction. It is easy to understand. You will definitely, if you once you target these templates and how you understand how to configure that template, your 85 work 85% of work will be, you have sourcing model you can understand. So you can focus on how to I can learn this template configuration, because there is a configuration. Not only you are building a questions, you are building a entire template, you are modifying the formulas for them. You are doing some strategy, based on strategy you are building a template. So that's the benefit of creating a templates. If you want to learn, you can focus on template creation, whether how my template is working, how my end result is, how it is looking. So it is totally based on your template configuration. So that's why you want to focus on this template creation. We are going to focus on this part, because once you learn template configuration, you don't need to focus on sourcing template. Once you focus on, sorry, once you focus on sourcing template, no need to much go into detail for the other templates like contracts, or we have SLP template. So you will understand the basic of template configuration. You will understand what are the questions type, what are the answer types for that, what are the configuration, what are how the mapping is working in that, how where we have to put the mapping for that, how our other features like SLP, there is a lot of answer types different. In contracts we have signature module task for that. So a lot of things we can do in that templates. So based on the module we can modify the templates. Once you understand the basic of template configuration, you will modify any template. Like you will modify the sourcing template, you will modify the SLP templates, you will modify the contract templates. So these three modules are contract template based. So just need to focus on any template configuration, and then we will discuss the features of that three module. If you see here, reverse auction, it is mean when we are buying, then that time we will using the this kind of strategy, the reverse auction. When you want to sell something like your scrap or something like any old machineries, then company doing the forward auction, they're earning money from that scrap. So they will sell their products as a in forward auction. Total cost auction, nothing but it is a formula based reverse auction. It you have to configure on your templates. So that things you have to configure, and we will discuss in detail. Dutch auction, it is very it looks very easy to understand, but when you have to configure the template, it is totally on formula base. It will easy to understand to suppliers also as well as the buyer. But the even it is very much interested auction of Ariba, that is a Dutch auction. We will see in future how it works. no one can deny that this fact that this Dutch auction is very hard. It is very understand. Even in the first session, you will understand how Dutch auction will work. India's based auction also you can understand easily. And then RFPs we will float. There is a other features like we can everyone know there is a we are doing RFI RFPs. RFPs mean we are floating inquiry for materials and service. We are doing technical bid analysis and commercial bid analysis. What are the questions we will ask to suppliers? What are the key factors we are considering? How uh, we will score them? Because Ariba has providing the team grading and scoring for that function. So based on our responses we will provide them the scoring. So based on that scoring we will consider whether this supplier has been capable to deliver the commercial bid or not. Then only we will invite that. So these things we can configure in RFP. We'll go in detail when this module will start. RFI is nothing but it is just the information. Whenever you want to understand the trend of market, if you want to some information of anything, you will collect the market trend. You will collect the financial information, average revenue of suppliers. So these are the basic information. But most of the companies doing the RFI into RFP only. They will ask these questions into RFP, whatever they want to do, and they will close in one RFP along with the technical analysis and commercial. They only do the RFP. And sourcing, why sourcing? Sourcing will reduce your cycle time for whatever you are currently doing the manual versus e-procurement. So it will reduce your cycle time. It will help you to gather all your suppliers under one roof. They will float the inquiries. There is a documentation, proper documentation. You'll get the reports. So all these features will understand how what are the benefits going ahead, how you can utilize this feature and reduce the cycle time. Major companies facing this cycle time issue. They want to reduce their cycle time. They want more profitability. They want to save their money as well as the time. So these module will help them to reduce their spend as well as buy the product within the time with the proper accounting of all the documentation. So these module will help them. We'll check next module. It is like SLP. I'll show you SLP. It is like supply lifecycle and performance. So SLP is nothing but like this is for the registration purpose of supplier. Not only registration purpose, it will help you to uh, check the performance of that supplier. You can evaluate, qualify that supplier on basis of the commodity, on region or any business unit you want to. So there is a complex qualification process you can run. Then these are the like currently Ariba is providing some other new features, like already they have introduced in that you can qualify the suppliers, now disqualify the suppliers, just their performance, not only performance, even you can supplier risk module included in that. So these along with the registration, they have different qualification processes and performance. You can down to year or 6 month, every quarterly you can do the performance of that suppliers. There is a scoring. You can score that supplier, and based on your responses, how supplier has been helping you, on that basis you can take the preferred supplier status for them also. So these basic basic understanding of that particular model. But in detail, when you are doing the configuration, it will help you to understand how you can build up the template. What are the currently company using the process, not only to the registration but for their qualification. You can utilize this feature. You can adopt and develop the customized template, and you can show the result. Ariba have one more feature that I currently am not recollect, but there is one more feature currently has just introduced. That features we have to enable, and we will understand how to enable new features and what is the benefit of that feature. And you can also identify where this new feature I can see, and how I know what feature is in pipeline currently Ariba is working on. So that things also we are going to discuss here. And if you see this 360 view of this supplier, how it looks. If you see the summary, how, what are the suppliers in overview, how currently, how many suppliers you have currently, how many are registered, how many qualified, what, how many questionnaires you have sent, performance, what spend and risk, how you are doing the risk management for that. If you see here, the qualified and registered status it is showing, the supplier is registered as well as it is qualified for some commodity or region or any business unit. So we are doing that things. So reporting wise, if you want to reduce your supplier count, like many suppliers, there is a multiple duplicate suppliers is there in their profile. So they want to reduce that things. They want to understand how many suppliers in duplicate. So duplicate check also will be there. You can, you have to configure the some questions. I'll explain you in detail how duplicate check will be configured, how you will help them, what are the suppliers, there is some supply block due to payment or any company code level. So how you can identify with who's how many suppliers has been blocked for that reason. So even that things you can do, you can mass invite supplier for registration also. You have to create some waves. We will detail discuss in the upcoming sessions. Along with that, there is a template upgrade feature for this SLP only. If you are any earlier you have 10 questions and now you have added two, 3 questions, but you have already some suppliers which is already register on that template version. Like earlier there is 100 suppliers only existing we have registered on that template. Now we have added two more. So for that reason we have one more additional feature here, that is a template upgrade. So that new two questions also we can ask that those 100 suppliers using this template upgrade feature. So there is a lot of features where all the supply your suppliers can we can ask. We can send the multi qualification process with the suppliers, commodity wise, region wise. So we'll discuss more in details. Next is like this is a Ariba network feature for commerce automation, procurement, and other DSN, these things. So if you see here, this is the Ariba network slide. Here you can monitor your all the on homepage. You can see how many orders I have sent, what are the POs, what are the orders to confirm, what are ship notice, ASN. So what are these things? So in
Radheshyam, we
Ariba
can't
network,
see the slide. We are still in the supplier life cycle and performance slide only. I
okay,
think
one
there is
second.
some glitches
No,
happening
no.
in moving the slides.
Now you can check.
Let's see.
You can let me know once it is visible. Is it visible?
Okay. Supplier life cycle and performance.
No, no. I have
I can see.
anyone else? Anyone else can check Ariba network for suppliers?
Yeah, we can see Ariba network suppliers.
Okay,
Now is okay.
okay. See, this is the Ariba network screen. Actually, why I'm showing here how supplier will check their POs, advance ship notice confirmation for any order, how they send the invoice, and this is the common screen for all together for all module like sourcing, SLP, commerce automation, supply chain collaboration, buying an invoice. So this is the Ariba network. Actually, this is the supplier screen. So supplier can check their profile. Here if you see, there is a new 26 order for that suppliers. There is order to confirm 26. Already he has sent the ship notice of 41. Two orders need to notification. Some there is some attention required, whether they have rejected the GRN or something. 61 orders to invoice. So all this if you see, the customer wise he can check even status for that particular order, like PO or it is ASN, then amount, and then he can do the auction action on that. And if you see, I'll explain you in detail. Like sourcing, whenever there is an event like RFP or auction or RFP, supplier no need to log in different portal or no need to go into the different direction. This screen is common for them, so he can go and check his sourcing, whatever the RFPs or auctions also open. He can also check his 360 profile, how what are the supplier registration form he has filled, qualification form he has filled. Then he can check the POs, he can check the invoicing under that one screen. And all apart from that, also that supplier might be registered for all other different kind of companies. So like if he is registered for one company, also he will be registered for different company for the Ariba. So there is a just a one click, he can change his client. So even he can manage that portal, he can use the Ariba network ID as a common for that. And from them they can manage their profile for different organization also. So we can help them how to build up that, we can understand their Ariba network, and we can configure in our portal. And then only supplier can check our whatever documents we are sending to them. So that things we are managing from the Ariba network. And entire RFPs, auctions, sourcing module also. And I'll explain you in detail how commerce automation supply chain collaboration will work. Now this commerce automation screen is visible to you. Hello, anyone?
Not yet to
Yes,
me.
Okay,
yes,
Now it's
yes,
okay,
visible.
Yes, yes, visible.
okay. So now you can check this commerce automation screen. Here if you see, there is a backend ERP, and here it is Ariba cloud integration, and this is the supplier network. Whenever we will push any purchase order we want to send to the supplier, it will from Ariba, it will through some configurations in ERP, we have to some setup configuration in ERP. Then we have to some setup configuration into this CIG. In Ariba network also we have to set the transition rules as well as for buyer purpose, and then it will goes to the supplier. So that how what are the things we have to configure in for purchase order confirmation, service entry sheet, inbound delivery, how it will be create an invoice, how it will send a payment update. So those configurations we are going to in depth, we are going to discussing here. We are multiple projects we have handled. We have already delivered the commerce automation projects as well as the DSN supply chain collaboration projects also. The features are same. Don't confuse between commerce automation and supply chain collaboration, but how it will differentiate, we will show you how it will be differentiate between commerce automation, what are the difference in supply chain collaboration and DSN. So these things we are going to in depth, we are going to discuss. When we say the PO, when we are sending this PO to supplier, it will directed from this CIG to Ariba network. And through that there is a once that PO has been received by supplier, they do the order confirmation. So buyer will get the notification about the order confirmation. How they can check what if he sending as a buyer is sending 100 quantity PO, then buyer also confirming out of 100, if he want to confirm for 80 quantities only, or he want to complete entire order, he want to confirm, or he want to reject. So whatever the status, so buyer also know. Once the supplier has selected that status, buyer will understand he is confirmed the entire order. And then once this order confirmation will be done, he will send the ASN, advance ship notice. Advance ship notice is nothing but whenever suppliers want to send the shipment, he will he will mention all the details of that consignment, like transporter, how many quantity, how it is packed, how it is when it is sending we are from our factory, and when it is receiving to your location. So entire details we will sending, even we are mentioning the packaging details, how we have packed. So that is advanced feature in this. Many of organization using in supply chain collaboration, entirely minor level they are doing this packaging details. So how it is packed and this thing. And then once it is received to this buyer, it will create an inbound delivery. Based on that inbound delivery, buyer will do the GRN, means receiving for that particular material. Once that receiving has been happened, Ariba will send back one notification to supplier to create an invoice that we have received this much quantity. Now you can able to create a invoice. So then only supplier will create a invoice, otherwise it will this invoice tab has been disabled. So those configuration we will do here, will in detail we can discuss later on. And then once that payment has been processed by buyer, we will sending them a payment update that your payment has been done for so and so quantity and so a day, so and so day, and amount is that. So whatever the banking details or like transaction details, we will send them to that supplier, so they will understand the payment has been done. And these features and all the all these transition we are configured in Ariba ERP end, then Ariba network also, in CIG also. So we have backend ERP also, we have CIG configuration also, we have Ariba network also. So you will also get this hands-on training if you are, we will record all the sessions. You can go through that. You will able to configure your own system whenever you want to do your configuration for any client. You can easily you can do. But when there is a additional customization for that, how it will be, how we want to go. So whatever we have experience and what customization we did, we will just as a add-on, we are just giving you that as a just we will show you how we have did and what configuration for that it is required, what are the customization we can do. And with that knowledge, you can also suggest that things if your client is asking for that, or you will understand what customization need here. So we will discuss that things also. Surely we will explain you everything. uh, Contracts part, now on buying part will be covered by my colleague Akshay. Akshay, if you are there, you can just hello. I think Akshay is not he's
Hello.
having some issue. Yeah. If he's not, then no worry, I'll explain. So see, Ariba contract also have template-based approach, and it is for negotiation of contract terms. So you can also send your contract draft to client. So not only contract draft, it is already nowadays your MS Word file you can already that is integrated, and you can also outline agreement and agreement files you can use. There is a clause library also. You can create your own clause library, and you can mention all your contracts based on your commodities and based on your products also. So Ariba contract is very huge model to understand and explore. So you want to depth in depth knowledge, we will highlight you what are the key features and what are the key benefits of this module. And these things we will explain in detail to you. Contract nowadays contract module is every time there is some upgradation. So earlier we are using a DFX desktop file synchronization. If you know anyone has worked or heard about that, so that file we are downloading for that DFS we have to enable, and then we are creating our desktop on our desktop we are creating our Word file, and then we are sending to that particular Ariba task, and then we are sending it to supplier. So that is there is a lot of challenges earlier we are facing. Then Ariba has introduced integrated MS Word. So then you can directly, if you see this is outline agreement, so this file nothing but your whatever your Word document you can configure from here also, or from your you can download this document and you can prepare the document. So that document you can also prepare from your desktop only, and then you can just update that. So you can see whatever the headers and outline agreement sorry, these things clause you have mentioned, you can see here. So all the clauses with your headers, your formatting for that, so you can do from here. So these nowadays it is very easy to configure. Even approval flows, your or basis on your contract, team members you can add, and then you can also mention your uh, legal team you can involve here. And then you can configure your templates based on their requirement, and it is easy. There is signature task also for that document signing. You can create a negotiation task for contract clauses also. So that is a task based approach. We will explain you in detail how it will be. And reporting purpose, what are the reports we can fetch from contracts, sourcing, SLP? We are that is a common public reports. We can say we can even customize our template. Sorry, reports that we are going to explain you. And next is nothing but guided buying and buying and invoicing. Uh, it is it looks very easy to understand. Buying. I hope screen is visible for buying. Hello.
Yes, it is.
Yes, for me it's visible.
Yes, yes. See, Ariba buying, it is catalog based approach. You can create non-catalog categories also, catalog items also. So there is already 6 to 8 pre-configured catalog categories, but we can customize our own catalog for suppliers. So based on the category, we can develop these categories. There is carousels and these things we can configure, and then we will add our categories. On that basis you can buy it through that create a catalog PO, so you can add in your basket whatever you want to buy. So that approach is like nothing but you are shopping on Flipkart or Amazon, but here there is a much more to do. Once you create your landing pages, carousels, you will see how many categories in that carousel, and then you can create a basket for different categories, and then you can uh, push that purchase request, that is called a request actually. Then PR will be fetched, and then it will create a PO for that. So these things is nothing but it is easy to understand what are the material specification will be visible. You will creating a catalog images you're fetching, and this using this buying and catalog management, you will reduce the cycle of creating a PO and all these things, because you're creating PR here, PO here, all other cycles like confirmation, invoicing, GRN, receiving also you are doing here, and a lot of customization you can do here on base whatever the customer require, you can do the customization here. So material, not only for material, but as well as the services you can configure easily. In sourcing for services, there is a lot of challenges, there is some restriction for that, but here easily you can configure your services also. Not on material everywhere, it will be easy to configure, but as well as services you can configure here. uh, Here in buying, my colleague Akshay will explain you in more details, because I have worked not I have worked only one in 1 to 2 projects, but my colleague Akshay have in-depth knowledge. He's worked on many projects for Ariba buying. We will show you how Ariba buying will help you, and how to configure the landing pages, not on carousels, how integrated with the other fields like Concur and Fieldglass. We will explain you how it will be help you. How API will help you to configure some configurations for other things like fetching reports, your PR from your backend ERP, your master data. That is an important factor for configuring this all this thing. All your categories, your the entire master data for procurement, suppliers also. Then your WBS element, your company codes, your payment related things. So you can configure here the master data. You can automatically fetch some master data will be automatically fetched. Some you have to upload. How it will be uploaded? how these landing pages will be create, how your PO will be looks like in Ariba, that needs to configure. So these things he will in depth he will explain you here. And that some we will explain you in detail invoice, how we will create the invoice for that. I think we we are good here. Akshay, are you there to explain more in details for Ariba buying?
I think Akshay is having some mic. So, anyways, that's you have
Yeah,
explained very well, Radhesham. So,
yes, yes,
so just to brief you, everyone, guys, basically, you see what happens is like not everyone is going to be very pro in all the modules. So we have made you a training in such a way like we are covering all the 360 degrees of SAP Ariba. For that reason, we have invited Akshay and Radhesham for this whole training. Okay, so basically, Radhesham will be taking the parts like upstream, majorly sourcing and other aspects of that. So Akshay will be handling contracts and guided buying and P2P process. So this is his major forte for going forward. Okay, both of them are solution architects and very well versed in their own subject. So this training we have planned it in such a way like it should not miss any small parts of it. Like today is just an overview kind of session. Going forward we'll be seeing everything hands on. Okay, we are going to discuss the different scenarios and different real time examples will be sharing with you. And moreover, which are Akshay and Radhesham are having more than 14-15 years of experience altogether. They are going to share their own experiences because you see, as a fresher or as a consultant which you are having like almost 1 or 2 years of experience, is going to be little difficult whenever you are onboarded in a different project or whenever you are facing any kind of interviews. So that's really going to be very difficult for you to cope up. So for that reason, we have planned this training as an end-to-end training. After this particular training, there won't be any gaps going to be unfulfilled. Okay, we are going to fill all your gaps. We are going to discuss each and every aspect of the training practically. Okay, so you'll be very comfortable answering in the interviews or whether you're going to start your work directly on any kind of project. So this is our major goal over here. Okay, so we have done our presentation. Now I request every one of you who are willing to ask any kind of questions, they can raise your hands and I can unmute you and you can come up with the questions, whichever the questions you are having, whether it's related with any basic concepts with respect to Ariba, or what are the opportunities we are having, how you are planning your career wise. So any type of questions related with your career or Ariba, you can ask is over here. You can, I have made the open mics, so just raise your hands. I'm going to unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. You can start asking the questions. Yeah. So this is very important. We want to hear from you guys. What are your expectations and what are your understanding for this presentation? What are your questions you are having? So please ask any sort of questions you are having. Any one of you?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Rajesh.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Rajesh. I just wanted to, I think I joined little late to this one. So,
Okay.
my question is, I think my whole idea is I've been in the P2P for about 17, 18 years. Now, the whole idea is to get myself upskilled in Ariba. So, as I see from Ariba's shed, certification point of view, you have buying, you have contract management, you have supplier management, I believe, then there is a invoicing part of it as well. So when you take up this training, how do you divide that? Do you divide it as SAP suggests you to do, or you go with your own plan? I mean, because why I'm asking this question is my whole idea is once I go through this training and started using your demo system, my whole plan is to go for a certification. I know it's going to be a little difficult with the time constraint and the lot of effort is required. but my whole idea is to go for all the four certification. That's my whole idea. So
Oh, okay. Mhm.
in that aspect, do you cover the training based on what SAP suggests, like sourcing, procurement, strategic management, or strategic sourcing, and then invoice, or how do you want to go about it? I know
Uh,
that
uh,
when you implement Ariba, probably the client may not go for all the modules which is required. I mean, probably they will only pick and choose. But in your training, how do you want to how do you go with it?
Yeah, very good question.
Uh,
Very good question, Rajesh. So, Radhesham,
yeah,
I just start a bit here, then you can, explain in a very detailed fashion. So, Rajesh, you
sure.
see, SAP Ariba is having almost like five certifications. Okay, for Ariba, there are five certifications basically: sourcing, P2P, contracts, SLP, that is nothing but CIG, and SSC, supply chain collaboration. So, there are five certifications. So ideally, nobody is going for all the certifications. The prominent among these five certifications are P2P and sourcing. So these two certifications, most of the companies are expecting you, and those are not at all mandatory as well. I'm not saying they are mandatory. And SAP trainings, if you are going to the portal, their portal, and they are having the standard course contents to clear those certifications. You might have noticed it. Okay, so those parts are, you see how it is being divided basically, because after attending a training, lot of participants have already cleared most of the certifications. So the training is based upon more practicality of the things. So whenever you are talking about the certification, 60% of the questions are going to be little tricky. Unless until you are doing hands-on, you won't be able to answer, because more than one question is going to be correct for that. One answer will be one option. For a question, there will be like four or five options. So there might be one, two or three options might be correct for this, or none of them would be correct also. So it's a little tricky on that part. So you need to have a balancing of your theoretical knowledge as well as hands-on knowledge. So both the things we are covering over here. Okay, and also we'll be sharing with you the latest guides for certifications as well. So that is going to be more helpful for you to clear the certification. So I don't recommend anyone to go clear all the four certifications. Start with sourcing, then go with P2P, and if you are comfortable, you can go further on that one. But we are covering the whole things over here. Radhesham, you can go further on that.
Yeah, hi Rajesh.
I
Actually, I'll explain it. Yeah. Uh, you have very good knowledge already in supply chain, but in Ariba, when we are moving, I'll suggest you can first go through any one integration project at least first, or if you have any requirements. Now a lot of things has been changed now in SAP. They want certification first, and then only they are allowing us to do the configuration for any client. So for that reason, I'll suggest you two three modules where you can, if you deep dive, you can easily crack the certification also. First is SLP, second is sourcing, and third is supply chain collaboration. If you want to go through any of one of these three module, you can just learn deep dively in this session. I can assure you, you'll understand this module in a better way, and along with we are sharing latest documentation for that. So based on the documentation, and when you go buying that subscription for 6 items, then you will get, I also if you have your organization will provide you the access for SAP these things, and from that you can also refer some videos or some documents, and then you can easily crack. I even I have given the same in the same manner my certifications, my own certification. I have completed my SLP and supply chain collaboration in a single attempts only. So these things we can manage in that way. It's up to you which module you want to target. I can suggest you these three module. You can easily because you have already good knowledge in that area. In supply chain collaboration, I can only say you for that this reason we are here only covering PO collaboration only, not the in details for other things. Because why I'm telling you, due to this our timing, because that is a lot of, but high level overview I can explain on you. But for that reason you can here that system is configured in that way. We can see the PO collaboration only. Quality collaboration and forecast we can explain you, or else we will share you some documents to explore in that depth. So but don't worry about the certification right now. You can focus the any three modules first, and then my I'll explain you how you have to prepare for that examination, which how the formatting for that exam, how you are going to learn these things, because sourcing have a lot of things in this 1.5 months. You cannot go and explore everything. But if you're doing the practice daily, or at least for 1 hour for sourcing, SLP and commerce automation in one cycle, you can whenever you are logging, just go and first create your own supplier, use that supplier, convert create you can go and configure into Ariba network, and you can do the one sourcing cycle, you can do one entire PO, and then you can complete it till the invoicing. So whatever we are learning, you can do day to day practice. On that practice basis, you can clear, I can assure you, you can clear the sourcing SLP configuration, certification.
Okay, thank you. Because the whole
Definitely
idea
will
of,
help you.
yeah, the
Yes.
whole idea I'm asking is, yes, I'm new to the Ariba side of the technologies. That's one thing. Now, why I said that insist and picked up the solution certification is I'm currently based in United States. Here, when if I don't have a hands-on knowledge, at the same time I don't have the certification, I will not be considered for that position. I need to have some kind of supporting to say that I have a knowledge about SAP Ariba. Training is great, but at the same time you need to have some kind of documentation to prove that you are capable to handle the thing. So anyway, they're coming back to this thing when you're talking about, so you have a guided buying. So when the guided buying comes, you have catalog, non-catalog items and things like that. So do you also show that, how the catalogs are, the onboarding, the vendor, then catalog, how to manage the catalogs and these kind of things, or you don't?
We are showing everything to you. We are configuring our own catalogs, non-catalog items. We
Hmm.
are fetching our master data. We are just dummy data we are showing you. We are migrating that data, and we are showing you, and then how we are creating PU and all these things from that catalogs, non-catalog items. That will cover up here. So
Okay,
you will
okay.
get also the I think Iraj will clear that point. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
yes, yes.
I think you
Yeah,
will get the access for the system, and then you can also create the dummy things.
yeah,
Okay,
Rajesh sir.
okay.
What what I said is like here, the whole training is consist of approximately 70% of hands-on. Okay, we will be more focusing on the configurations because that is only the end goal. Because after your interview finished, so you will be start working on any project, right? So
Hmm.
that is the whole idea. Like we are covering a lot of configurations here. Everything will be shown on the systems. Okay, how you are going to copy the catalogs, and how you are going to configure your own catalog. So all those things in detail we are going to cover it up. Not only catalogs but also other aspects of SAP Ariba. Everything is going to be hands-on and with a proper flow. Okay, proper flow and examples. And those scenarios which we are taking are not like the basic one. Those are from the project real-time scenarios, real life scenarios will be discussing in detail so that you can relate yourself. And really appreciate you are having a very good understanding of the domain. So that's going to be very easy. Ariba is just a tool. Okay.
No,
So
no. I
if you are
mean,
having a
yeah.
business knowledge, it's very easy to adopt Ariba basically.
So, I
So you
mean,
are on a
because I have worked on that. See, sorry to asking a lot of questions. I just wanted to
no
make sure
problem.
that what I'm going to get it. And
No,
the
that will be
second
useful for
aspect
others
is
as well.
the second aspect is like RF request for information, request for proposals. Then you have a contract, and these are another aspect of it. Publishing the contract, things like that. So, is it part of your training or is it not? I believe that it's a contract managing is a whole, using all the different kinds of templates and things like that. These are all a new thing for me, but are you guys going to cover that or you want to keep it aside? At least contract
No,
management is
no.
a separate
Of
thing
course, we are
altogether,
going to.
right?
No, 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 no. Of course, we are going to cover. At the initial point when we started this conversation, I informed everyone like this is going to be the end-to-end training. Okay, in which we are not leaving any gaps over it. So all the RFI, RFQ, RFX, so everything we are going to cover. That too with a very practical fashion. Okay.
We
So after this
whatever
training,
models
you
we
should,
have discussed today, na, that we all going
yeah,
to hands-on knowledge on that. We will going giving you the hands-on knowledge, sourcing,
yeah, yeah.
SLP, contracts, commerce automation, supply chain collaboration, then guided buying and catalog management, along with the contracts also configuration.
Okay,
We have
okay.
that
And
system, and we using that system to show you the demonstration.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you also give access to the server
yes, yes,
for
yes.
us to
Access to the
practice?
server, which covers like upstream, downstream in a very detailed fashion. So commerce automation, we need to look into this one. So because the what happens is Rajesh, a lot of people will start doing their own ways. So commerce automation is little tricky in the sense like if somebody is doing the misconfigurations, it's a cloud solution. It's not an individual who is using here, right? So if anything happens, one person has done some misconfiguration, it's going to affect to everyone. So basically for upstream, complete sourcing, templates, contracts, whole P2P process, okay, and SLP and guided sourcing and guided buying. So for this one, definitely you'll be having a proper system with complete access. You can do all hands-on practice on this one. Okay. Yeah,
And
that
what
will be
about
given.
contracts and other things?
Contracts also, yes. You can do the configuration. You can do the hands-on configuration by yourself.
Yeah, because I had a opportunity to go through some of the study material which the Learning Hub provides us. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the thing is, I'm you know
Mm-hmm.
process wise we
Okay.
are okay to understand. Important thing is how do we configure, administer the
No, you see, Learning Hub is a
thing.
very good
So uh,
learning hub is, yeah, learning hub is good when you already have some guide or some person to just little handhold you. Then it would be very helpful for you because learning hub has lot of information like those how you are going to consolidate that particular information so that you can practice in a well fashion. You need to create a particular scenario and you need to do the hands-on on that one. So that particular thing we are going to cover it over here more than the knowledge you are getting from learning hub you will be getting through this particular training because we are having a very systematic way of explanation and also configurations here. So that's really going to be very much helpful for you. Yeah, I think
yeah.
that answer your question, Rajesh.
Yes, yes, it did. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing is, I asked a lot of questions. I think everybody was silent.
No, no, no,
So,
that's
yeah,
absolutely fine, sir. Because you see, that is going to be helpful for others as well. So whichever the questions you're asking, those are very valid and very good question, and we encourage everyone to ask whichever the doubts, whichever the questions they are having. And we'll just take up some more questions, and meanwhile we'll come back to you again, sir. Is it fine?
no problem.
Yeah.
I'm done with my question. Thank you very much. Probably, I
Okay.
mean, I'm in United States, so I'll have to drop out. Thank you very much. I'll get in
Okay,
touch with
okay,
you guys.
okay.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
no
Thank
problem,
you,
Rajesh.
everybody.
Really,
Okay.
yeah, most welcome. Yeah. Harsh, you are
Thank
having
you.
any question? Please unmute yourself and you can ask Harsh. Harsh, you have raised your hand, right? So would you please unmute yourself and ask the question? I think there is some issue at his end. Ah, yeah, we can hear some sound from your end. Yeah, Harsh, please. Actually, meanwhile, I just take up one question from the chat window. So can you please show us one demo transaction in SAP? Yashwant is asking this question. Yashwant, so we have the session tomorrow as well. Okay. In tomorrow session onwards, we are going to do complete hands-on process. So we'll be starting with sourcing part. Okay. In sourcing, we'll be creating a sourcing project. We'll be starting with sourcing project. First, we'll understand what exactly the sourcing is going to be. We are going to understand the conceptual things and we'll take up a very small kind of scenario. So based upon that scenario, we are going to start a sourcing project where you can see the complete end to end, I mean to say one whole transaction, how a sourcing project is going to be created. I hope I have answered your question now, Yashwant. Is there anyone else, guys? So please come up with your queries. We have Farooq, Kiran. I think nobody. Harsh, is there any issue with your mic? Then still you can, you know, type your queries in the chat window as well. I'll read it for you and we can answer well.
Hello, Radhesham.
Yeah, Kiran.
Hello.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, am
Kiran.
I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay. Just now I listened. The previous question was another consultant, right? Regarding all these things. So he has very much experience in his domains, like supply chain management, and in relevant areas he is working, and he has worked in this area. But I want to ask the question, like, I am working as an MM consultant and I have only 2 years of experience. So whatever actually terminologies I'm hearing in Ariba, I'm
Mhm.
not getting wholly. So I'm getting confused, or not getting all the information. So is it appropriate stage for me to get the knowledge on Ariba, or move towards Ariba? Because as of now, I'm working as a web consultant and only 2 years of experience. So
Uh,
not having much experience in supply chain management and all that. So please guide me.
Kiran, you're on right track. I can say we are you're just 2 years of experience and you're thinking all these things. That is very good.
Mhm,
Actually, I can say. Uh, I'll suggest you can go with this training for your career
mhm.
and your knowledge also. See,
Okay.
currently market has changed nowadays. Along with your MM knowledge, you can if you are
Mhm,
building Ariba templates, if you are building Ariba supply chain collaboration configuration, then you are a techno-functional consultant. You have add on
okay.
additional knowledge for your MM. Along with that, you can do the customization from your own side. You will understand what tables are there, what are the master data, how to fetch that, what are the ECC configuration required, how S4 has been changed to that entire things you already know from ERP side. Now you're learning Ariba realm only, because you're just one step ahead. If you want to explore, you can just that is this is the right time for you, so you
Yeah,
can go.
actually, I'm also interested,
And
but
don't worry about the no, you're not familiar with the some keywords, or you're not familiar with some
hmm,
RFP, RFIs, all these things. Going ahead
uh-huh.
from scratch, from the basic, we are explaining you. Those who are already knowledge about these things, they also getting some refreshment. They are getting also some add-on these things, add-on knowledge about that, and you also understand with them, because see, we are here to explore explain you in-depth knowledge about these things, like how CIG will work in this, how Ariba will work this, how contract management, how guided buying. You can easily adopt these things, because this is just first time you are checking how what are the modules are there. When you go into depth, then you will understand, I have already did these things, I know these things, but how in Ariba we are doing, that is we are going to learn here. So we'll explain you, don't worry about that. And very soon after this session, you will definitely configuring your own system for SLP or any module you want to explore. That is up to you, how you are going to adapt again, and how you are going to deep dive for that modules. You have practice sessions, you can do the lot of practice, and then we are explain you. See, Ariba side configuration, we are explaining you.
Uh,
CIG
yes.
is the major things here we are explaining. We already work on CIG things. We are explaining how to configure the ERP level configurations. Once you, I'll explain whatever the steps, 16 steps to follow. one day you are just no need to follow any documents. You can easily, you can say this is this configuration we have to do, these are the transitions, and these are the configuration we have to do. I can header level I can show you. You will easily understand what are the configuration, which configuration, who which team want to do, and what are the, if anyone ask you on your mobile also, you can no need to follow any documents, you can explain them. So that is in easy way we are going to
Okay.
explain you. So don't worry about
Great,
that.
great,
Yes,
great.
yes,
And
Harsh, your
to add a few
Harsh,
more
your
things,
Okay.
Radhesham, to your things. So, to
Uh, uh,
Kiran, I'm saying to you, you see, don't worry about the terminologies. Okay, on the first day, it would be little difficult for you to, adopt the things, but terminology will come as you go. Okay, you just imagine like 2 years or 3 years back when you are learning MM, or you you have started MM project, how difficult it was. You are seeing like, oh, these all these things are how I know how I can, cope up, what are these key codes and all those things, right? So now you are very much
yeah,
proficient on those things. So we are going to take every one of you in the same level. We are not going to skip any of the conceptual things, so that you see your basics should be very stronger. Okay, I can,
okay.
say a lot of even experienced participants also will not be having a clear understanding of what is RFI, RFQ also sometimes, not every one of them, but some of them. So we are keeping in mind of each and every participant to, discuss the things in detail for those things. So nothing to worry. You will
Okay.
be getting. I We can assure you, like after this particular training, you will be very much having a lot of grip in SAP Ariba, I can say. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you, Kiran. And
Actually,
Harsh,
you have perfectly said.
sorry, Kiran. Can you just repeat your question?
You have perfectly said that previous to matlab, 2 years ago, MM itself was a big thing for me. So whatever terminologies, like whatever concepts like release strategy and pricing, these was also like not possible for me. So as long as I'm working on so many projects and I'm getting the things. So slowly I'm getting MM related whatever concepts I'm getting. And Ariba
Got
also you have perfectly said because currently I'm working on one project implementation and I have been involved from the starting. So there
very
I am referring RFP and contract. Sorry, what is commercial bid, what is technical bid. So I'm going through these terminologies and that terminologies I can relate here. So I think you have correctly said that as long as we will work, so we will get to
surely.
know
To
the
worry
all
on that
these.
one. We'll be having a lot of support. And to tell every one of you, we are not even leaving you even after the training as well. So we are going to create a WhatsApp group among all the participants of the trainings, so that
Mhm.
there'll be always communication between the group members, and we are going to exchange our knowledge. There is no limit for that one. It can be 1 year, 2 year. We are having the older groups, like we have started Ariba training back in 2016. So from 2016 onwards also the people are there in the group, and still they are doing the discussion of their projects over there. So that's a very good knowledge sharing, and we are trying to build up a Ariba community so that everyone should get benefited out of it. So whoever joining our community, so it's a long-term association with us, and we are going to have a very good career building going future in future. Okay, yeah. Harsh,
Okay.
sorry,
Okay.
I'll take another question from Harsh. So I think Harsh is having some network issues, so he's unable to, speak out
Hi,
over here.
Raj Radhasam. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes. We can hear you, Harsh, right now. Yeah, please go ahead with
Thank,
your question.
thank you both once again for conducting this demo session. Again, I'm Hers and I'm currently SAP Ariba catalog lead in
Great.
Canada and working with one of the four big banks in Canada, to be precise. For the reason I'm taking and I'm thinking of taking this course is as you guys called out that I work on the downstream side of the Ariba. As you understand, it's buying and invoicing. What I do is just to the catalog integration to the institutions. Ariba network. And I would definitely want to cover and learn more about the upstream side of the Ariba as well. And as the demo session called out, it would be not just one module, but we'll be covering the supplier lifecycle performance, etc., everything. And I just have 4 questions because amazing audience has been asking great questions, so a lot of my questions got answered by everyone. My first question is, what is the duration of the course and what will be the timeline of this course?
Yep. So to answer your first question, the duration of the course is approximately 40 to 45 hours. We are covering all the aspects of it, 40 to 45 hours. And the sessions are going to be scheduled only on the Saturdays and Sundays, weekends. Like weekends, 2.5 hours to 3 hours, and 3 hours on Sunday, kind of. So on every weekend, we are covering 6 hours. So considering these 6 hours every weekend, uh, almost 6 7 7 weekends we are good to cover all the things. 7 weekends, sometimes if the the topic is little longer on a particular weekend, so we are going to cover more this one. So we are trying to cover the whole entire course during 5 to 6 to 7 weekends. I can say 6 weekends would be the ideal things. Yeah. And the
Thank you.
duration is 40 to 40 hours. Yeah. And also you asked me like access to Ariba test post training. So you see, like we will be sharing with you a lot of material, and also time to time we'll be giving you some assignments to complete it. That's really going to be helpful for you to keep you hands on and keep track of your learning by yourself. So we'll also be sharing some sort of uh, certification material with you and some test papers of the certification material, so that there you can do the practice, you can test your knowledge as well. To every one of you, I always suggest, like whenever the session is happening, like Radhesham is taking the session for 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, or 2.5 hours on Saturday, so whichever the things. So you will be having the entire week. So during this particular entire week, I expect every one of you to at least one hour or 2 hours per day if you do the practice, or 5 hours per week if you're doing the practice. That's really going to make you pro in SAP Ariba, I can say. You can answer most of the questions in the interview as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Eras. So my question was more like when I say that will we have access to the Ariba test? So what I meant by that was, you guys will give us an access to the demo side of the SAP Ariba, or like an
Yeah,
Ariba test.
obviously. Yes, yes.
So
We'll be
will we?
giving. We'll be.
No, that's understood. But will we have the access after we finish our training, like after 45 hours of the training is completed? If we will be having access, then how long for us to practice, or like just to play around, get more proficient with the system, with whatever
Okay.
areas we are trying to improve.
Got your point. You see, ideally, this training is covered within 1.5 month, I can say. Okay.
Mm.
So we'll be providing 2 months of access along with the training. It's a package. Okay. In the package, what we are covering basically is the entire end-to-end training, and the whole set of recordings which you are attending live also going to be shared with you, and 2 months of server access also will be shared with you. 2 months of 24/7 dedicated server for you will be shared with you, and also a lot of documentation will be provided, and we'll be sharing a lot of resume also to build up your own resume or tweak your resumes. Okay, this is the whole package. Now your question would be like, of how, what about after 2 months? 2 months after also I really want to do some hands-on practice, and this one, that would be on pay per month basis. You can directly ask our business team, like who are in touch with you for the enrollment processes and all those. So they will be giving the information. After the 2 months will come along with the training package. After 2 months it's pay per month basis.
Thank you, Eras. You answered the
Yeah,
question.
most welcome, sir. Most welcome, Harsh. Yeah. Thank you. Is there anyone else, guys, who has any sort of question? Please come up. Farooq, you want to clear your queries? Like basically, Farooq has spoken to me, I guess, like offline before. Like you are coming from a different background, you can directly ask to Radhesham. You can share your queries. You can even take his suggestions. Farooq, if you want to speak out. Gorak, you have anything to ask?
Eras, I have one additional question if no one has questions. I'll
Yeah,
wait
please.
for everyone
Yeah, please.
first. I'll wait for everyone
Yeah.
first.
Nobody is having. If they have any questions, they'll raise their
Okay,
hands.
thank you. This question I don't know if Eras you can answer or Radhisam can answer. So while going through the training, we discussed a lot of things about the templates, right? And working while on the upstream, and even in the downstream, like when we use the punch out integrations, there's a lot of templates used like CMS, EDI templates, etc. Uh, so will we be having or the Rajasthan will be sharing all these templates with us post training or during the training? For example, when we will be doing our own configurations in the future, sometimes I understand the templates are based on the configuration that is required by the they have everyone has their own sort of configuration requirements, right? Like someone has EDI, someone has CMS, some uses Excel, etc. So will we be having any sort of resources like this post our training or during our training?
Yeah, I think Radhesham will answer you. Till then, I can just only say, yeah, yeah, Radhesham, please.
Harsh, yes, whenever we are building our own template, we are sharing with you. You can take a backup for them. And if you want to utilize for your further configurations, you can, as a reference, you can use that. Because these templates are common, you can also upload. But whenever there is a client-based master data or something, one second, 1 second. Sorry.
No problem.
No problem. I can say. So Harsh, usually what happens is like whenever we are having the standard templates, we just majorly focus on the standard templates. So we don't disturb the standard templates. We just copy those templates and do the configuration. That is the standard process SAP is suggesting. Okay, SAP has made a lot of standard templates over there. So those
Sorry, sorry.
templates, we are copying those templates and we are, yeah, yeah, please, Radheshan, please go ahead.
Yes, Harsh. See, whatever the templates we are doing here, that is for a testing purpose. But as a reference, if you want some, you have any dummy data, we can configure that as per the standard process, and we'll explain you how the mapping will use. And that standard mapping you can also we will share with you, because there is a in our SLP we can easily download the mappings. So these things we can configure for you, and you can take a reference file for that, but don't use any with your client, because that is just a dummy data. And along with that, you can understand how to upload, how to use the Excel based template configuration also we can teach you. We'll explain you how it will be. And that's the standard process. Even going ahead, you can build up your own templates. You can take a backup for that. Even that we can do.
Great.
Don't
So
worry
this will
about
be covered in the training, right? Right, Radhesam. So for example, no, I understand that, because the dummy data we will be using, of course, I'm not gonna take it and use it
that.
for. No, that's totally understandable. I was more trying to figure, my focus was on whether we will be having those as a references, right? Because in future, for example, if I'm doing any configurations, uh, right, and I'm just using example here as in CMS template, right? Now, CMS templates would be based on organization needs, requirements, etc. So I
Mhm.
just want, like, will there be any templates you guys will provide us as a to use it as a reference? Okay, guys, you can use this as this is what its requirement is, and I know this keeps getting updated. SAP is always, getting upgraded all the time. They keep changing the requirements, depends on the needs, market, environment, etc. So that was my question.
See, that things definitely we can some certain extent we can share you. And
Yes,
yes, definitely there is some changes, and there is a lot of things will be changed. So whatever templates we can download, na, that templates we can share with you. So that up to.
understood.
But
Understood.
yeah. So if there is a restriction, or if there is any Ariba side, we have some set up rules, then only we cannot help you in that. But apart from that, no, will share you the standard document. In that standard document, there will be the headers for that, and there is a process you can follow. That documents will also help you for some documents, not all the documents where we cannot download those documents. For that only we can follow the standard document.
Thank you. And last question, that is because I know SAP has its own portal for this knowledge-based questions and resources. Like, when you get some issues and stuff like that. So, do you guys avail the access to this the knowledge portal of the Ariba or the SAP? Because SAP has this for every
You mean
modules
to
to
say
have.
you mean to say Learning Hub? You're
Yeah, yeah,
talking about?
Learning Hub. Correct, 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 Eras.
Yes. No, Learning Hub, you see, Learning Hub is a license-based subscription. Okay,
Understood.
so we can't provide the
I am
subscription for everyone, so that we don't do it.
No
Okay, we
problem.
are means like if somebody are extremely needing for that one, we'll purchase from our company account because we are the partners. So we can get it and we can give it to you, but it's going to be little costlier, so we don't
And
suggest for the initial training. It's not necessary. uh, I ask everyone to focus on the training which we are giving. That's going to be more than enough, guys. That is more than sufficient for you guys to take a start in a better way. I can suggest you.
Yes, Harsh. It is hardly possible to get the access for Learning Hub here, and I don't think it is required. Whenever we are doing hands-on experience, why we are going to check the pre-recorded sessions here in Learning Hub? That is not in depth. There is some feature-wise they will explain you, not entire things, but here more than that we are going to explain here. So I can suggest Learning Hub whenever you are going for the certification from your organization level, you will get the access from your organization, because that is the standard process of Ariba to give the Learning Hub access to your organization.
no,
Even
you're
I
right.
have
I
used
do
my
have access to Learning Hub from my organization, and that's the reason I asked. And
yeah.
because I'm going to be away from my work for next few months, that's the reason I was trying to understand that will. But that's okay, as you called out. I understand. I do have access from my work to the Learning Hub, so that's great.
Yeah.
And the last question, for the Rajesh, so Rajesh, as you might understand this, the UNSPSC plays a huge role in the
Mm,
configurations. Will you be
correct.
teaching us how to map this UNSPSCs to the commodities or to the items in the Ariba?
Definitely, that is our that is our main focus. See,
Great,
commodities until and unless you understand what is the UNSSP and what is the custom commodities, how we are configuring, how the parent-child relation for that, and how we are using in our day-to-day, how our client existing commodities, and we are disabling the Ariba standard commodities. So that is, even we are showing you how to import and export the master data along with the
great.
commodities, entire master data. So that is you are going to learn here.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, thank you.
Yep.
That's all from
So
me, Raj. Thank you so much for the time and
thank you.
effort.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Kiran,
for your.
Kiran, you want to ask any? Kiran is raising his hand, I think. Kiran, do you have any
No,
question?
no, no. I have
Okay,
already
okay,
asked. No.
okay. Anyone else?
I think no one has left, Radhesham. So we can conclude our session for the day then. Yeah. So, and thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much, Radhesham, for your precious time. And you spent the time with us and shared a lot of knowledge with us. And we appreciate your time and patience to be with us. And to every one of us, guys, I really appreciate being part of this particular demo and asking so wonderful questions. That's really going to be helpful for every one of us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate, guys. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. We'll end up the session now.
Thank you, team. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.